You know what? This would be a lot funnier if he wasn't about to be the next president, but let's watch this senile old fart that's about to be in the White House lose his fucking mind. Trump glitches and blurts out Aurora while talking about Washington, D.C.
We're not going to be woke. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., which is a disgrace what they've let happen to it, with graffiti all over the beautiful Aurora. Marble. We have the most beautiful marble. They have graffiti all over.
The beautiful Aurora. Trump, I will very quickly defleet.
I will very quickly defleet. We are going to take...
He's gonna defleet, guys. Together we will stop Kamala Harris's nation-wrecking...
Together we will stop Kamala Harris's nation-wrecking... I'll tell you what, when you see...
Trump's brain is mush, episode 7 billion.
Did you just see Maduro, Venezuela? It's unbelievable. Oil exploration and production in the United States. The Biden border will, well, you know this, right? We will expel the warmongers. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your...
I mean, you'd rather that guy have access to the nuclear codes?
Trump panics after the teleprompter goes out.
The teleprompter just went out. And you know what I say? Usually I don't talk about it. Just keep going. Just keep going. You saw I just did. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. It's wonderful. I love you very much. And go out and vote. And still, go out and vote.
And that's the guy that's always bragging how he doesn't need a teleprompter, despite having a teleprompter at every single one of his rallies. Can't do shit without it. Rally 1. Isn't it nice to have a president who doesn't need a teleprompter? Rally 2. Stop speech to adjust teleprompter. These clips were filmed within hours of each other.
But isn't it nice to have a president who doesn't need a teleprompter? Yes, Senator. These teleprompters are just gonzo, folks. They're gonzo. I hate...
Thought you didn't need him there, Donnie. Trump, these are the people that are doing such tremendous arms.
But this is who we're really fighting. These are the people who are doing such tremendous arms.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that arms. Trump, we must stop her country distoric.
And we must stop her country distoric. This is a...
Trump supporters need to remind him that it isn't the 1930s anymore.
We're close to World War II because we have people in the White House that World War III. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for correcting my fried brain there, guy. 78-year-old Donald Trump says he's not that close to 80.
Leaders in the world, and I'm not 80, and I'm not that close to 80, but in the Biden case...
I'm curious what he does consider close to 80. If 78 ain't close to 80, then what is? Like, you're literally like 16 months away from being 80. I mean, how like... what the fuck are we doing here, guys? Trump, who famously said he couldn't have raped E. Jean Carroll because she wasn't his type, mistakes her for his wife, Marla Maples.
I don't even know who the woman... Let's see. I don't know who... It's Marla.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla, yeah. That's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No, that's
Here.
Carol.
Oh, is that...
The person you just pointed to was
I
Eugene
see.
Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
Point, your wife. And the woman on the right is your then wife,
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture.
Ivana.
I assume that's John Johnson. Is that
That's Carol.
Carol? Because it's very blurry.
Oh yeah, looks real blurry there, guy. Trump knows Willie Brown really well.
I know Willie Brown very well. In fact, I went down in a helicopter with him.
The African-American politician in question was not Willie Brown, but rather this man, Nate Holden.
Holden saying, quote, Willie is the short black guy living in San Francisco. I'm a tall black guy living in Los Angeles. I guess we all look alike.
Trump's super accurate number of illegal immigrants.
Millions of illegals. They think it's 2 million. It's probably 5 times that amount. Year 15, 16. Sometimes you hear 17. We have 21 million, at least 21 million. I think it's much more than 21.
That number just keeps on going up. Gotta get those 11D gajillion illegals out of here. Never fight uphill, me boys.
And the statement of Robert E. Lee, never fight uphill, me boys, never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow, that was a big mistake.
Yep, that classic quote. Wow, that was a big mistake. From Scottish old Robert E. Lee. Jesus. Trump just can't stop himself from talking about Arnold Palmer's junk, and then Speaker of the House Mike Johnson tries to pretend that this is just normal stuff that people say at political rallies.
But Arnold Palmer was all man, and I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it. We have women that are highly sophisticated here.
No you don't. Not at a Trump rally. And you gotta love the kid in the background there. That'll be a fun one to explain later. Anyway, here's Mike Johnson making excuses for him.
But the former president kicked off his rally with a detailed story about Arnold Palmer, at one point even praising the late legendary golfer's genitalia, unquote. Mr. Speaker, you're crossing all over the country. You're working hard to get Republicans over the line in this election. You're talking about substantive issues. Is this really the closing message you want voters to hear from Donald Trump, stories about Arnold Palmer's penis?
Well, listen, I think that the headline that I read about the rally in Pennsylvania yesterday was the big question, and it's the one that Kamala Harris has not been able or willing to answer, and that is, are you better off now than you were under the Trump administration 4 years ago? And
I'm sure that you think that a policy debate would be better than a personality debate, but if President Biden had gone on stage and spoke about the size of a pro golfer's penis, I think you would be on this show right now saying you were shocked and appalled, and you would suggest it was evidence of his cognitive decline. I wonder how Trump's remarks, not just the one about Arnold Palmer on his, quote, manhood, but everything we've heard from Trump this week, how it fits in with the analysis that the New York Times offered a few days ago. They looked at his speeches from 2015 and 2016 and looked at his speeches today and said, quote, with the passage of time, the 78-year-old former president's speeches have grown darker, harsher, longer, angrier, less focused, more profane, and increasingly fixated on the past. I know you want to talk about policy, and I respect that, but the reason that Donald Trump is not up 10 points is because of comments like that one, where people do have concerns about his fitness, his acuity, and his stability. Why is he talking about Arnold Palmer's penis in front of Pennsylvania voters?
Jake, you seem to like that line a lot. Let me tell you that Donald Trump is doing rallies nonstop around the country.
Let me just say something. I don't want to be talking about this.
Right.
Donald Trump is out there saying it. It is.
But you continue to. Let's talk about.
Because you won't.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You won't address it. He is out there talking to.
No,
voters
I'll address it. Let me answer it. Okay, don't say it again. We don't have to say it. I get it. There's lines in a rally when.
Yeah, there's just lines in a rally. Just normal political talk, all that is. I mean, another thing, professional golfers don't shower together. So this is just a fantasy that he's had about another dude's dick. Like, what? When he was showering with the other professional golfers don't shower together. What the fuck are you talking about? This is insane. The press finally starts to call out Trump's senile BS. The Boston Globe, Trump's decline is too dangerous to ignore. We can see the decline in the former president's ability to hold a train of thought, speak coherently, or demonstrate a command of the English language, to say nothing of policy. So why are Republicans and the press holding Trump to a different standard than Biden? Because they're all fucking hypocrites. It came back 1014th.
And she did a test, and she was so happy because it came back 1,014th. Remember? 1,014th. And that was it.
Trump tells people to vote on January 5th.
It will be, I'll tell you, if everything works out, if everybody gets out and votes on January 5th or before,
Or before, just my brain fucking turning to mush before your very eyes. Don't mind that. Trump, the guy whose slogan is Make America Great Again and was president for 4 years, says that for 40 years he's been hearing about Detroit coming back, but it never came back.
I have a lot of companies moving. You watch Detroit. For 40 years ago, I've been hearing about Detroit's coming back. Never came back.
How about that? Trump thinks Obama is still president.
Brian, it's all coming through Iran, and Obama he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't even mention them in his statements. It's all coming through Iran.
Well, you mean President Biden. So,
Trump tries basic math. It doesn't go very well.
We're not 800,000 and 18,000. You add them up, and then you add 100, and think of it, 112,000 jobs.
Basically just saying random numbers at this point, guy. Agriculture commissioner. When asked how he plans to help small businesses, Trump rambles about gas stoves.
My question is, what's your plan to help bring common sense back and help small businesses?
So, great. The fact is that, they want to get away from gas. And I have friends, they're into the cooking world. I'm not. I just like to eat. But they're into the cooking. And I don't know how you feel. It sounds like they feel that gas is much better than the electric for cooking, right? And they have this thing about, they want to put gas out of business, right? No gas. The amazing thing? We don't have electric in this country, but we have all the gas you can use. We have oil and gas. That's what we have. And even the cars, if you look, they want to go with all electric cars. California is having blackouts every week, brownouts, blackouts, and then they come up with rules and regulation to go to all electric, but they can't even supply what they have. It's so nuts. We're going to get, number one, your utility cost. You heard me say it before. Your costs will be down, and we're getting rid of all the and if you want electric, great. And if you want gas, great. The only thing you can't have is a hydrogen car, right? You heard me say that, right? Because you know what happens? They have a new car, they say it's great, but it's got one problem. You know what the problem is? Every once in a while, one will blow up. And if it does blow up and you happen to be inside of it, you're in bad luck because you're not recognizable. Do you know that? It's the new thing, hydrogen.
Yeah, so that's his plan to help small businesses, everybody. Don't get blown up in a hydrogen car, and gas stoves are cool. Didn't that help you, small businesses out there? Don't you think that's a worthwhile policy to look into? Trump, the convicted criminal and sexual abuser, says he's going to protect women from criminals.
I'm going to protect our women from criminals coming into our country and going up to the suburbs and doing really bad things. We're going to
Notice the accordion hands. Whenever he's serving up a particularly steamy pile of bullshit, he always breaks out the accordion hands.
When I heard about it, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process. You are old enough to have seen a time that was much different. You never saw heads chopped off until a few years ago. They built pipelines, and they failed. Didn't work. They paid millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to consultants and lawyers, and they failed. I asked, what's going on in Chicago? Right? What is going on? There's no excuse for it. I think it would be frankly more interesting. I know how good everybody's ratings are right now, but I think they'd actually be better. How are the Republicans going to finally get together? Where did all these people came that voted for Donald Trump? And he was all set. I spoke to him on the phone. Very nice guy.
I hear he wanted that meeting with you as well.
He wanted it. But we called.
That would have been a lot funnier a couple days ago.